Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Today, I am going to cover Miss Jackilyn Martinez, who is Soulja Boy's baby mother, and Blueface's case. If you guys aren't aware and have been living under a rock, she actually sued Blueface for defamation, slander, all of that good stuff. You guys recall Blueface going on his Twitter account with his Twitter fingers and pretty much just bashing and saying all these false things about Soulja Boy's baby mother, and she was not having it. And I'm glad that she stepped up and did what she needed to do because at that time somebody needed to teach this man a lesson. So let's hop right on into it. So in the California court, we have Jackilyn Martinez versus Jonathan Jamal Porter. If you guys have not had an opportunity to listen to the court complaint, I did do a video on that. So you're just gonna have to look in the Blueface playlist and find it and watch it, because I'm not gonna go back over all of that. But this case was filed back in December. She also ended up sending a cease and desist letter to Blueface, just pretty much telling him like, keep my name out of your mouth, and if you don't, then I have to pursue legal actions. And he didn't listen. He thought it was a game, and here we are. So last I spoke, I just went over the complaint, but the next hearing is going to be on September 3rd, 2024. So that's actually next week. It's in order to show cause. They're actually going to enter the default judgment. So just kind of a little background as to what happened with the case. She ended up filing, like I said, December 22nd, and that actually included a summons to serve Blueface with a copy of the filed complaint in court. They ended up having a status conference hearing or a case management conference hearing on the 10th of January, just trying to see what has happened, what's going on with the case. And I'm going to actually go over because there is, you're going to see what's called proof of personal service. Everybody knows, once again, when you file a lawsuit, you have to do your due diligence and you have to serve the other party. They have to be notified of the lawsuit and they have to have an opportunity to reply to that lawsuit. So I'm going to kind of step back in a moment after I kind of go over the entries of the court docket. So on the 11th, a proof of personal service was filed. And then another one on February 14th. They entered a default judgment. When I say they, the plaintiff, Jackie, did, on the 15th of February. The court clerk rejected it. And the reason why they did that is because the proof of service that they filed with the court was not sufficient. There is a certain form. California is very strict when it comes to the type of forms that you have to file with the court in order to show that the due diligence was given. But there's a certain form that you have to complete, and I don't know why the process server didn't know that, but you guys will see in a minute. So if they show that the service was not perfected correctly, or something, if there's issues with the actual proof of service, they're not going to go ahead and grant the entry for a default judgment. Okay. And so they did it again on the 27th of February. They submitted the entry for default again on the 28th of February. Let's see, they posted jury fees. So when she initially filed the complaint, she did request for a jury trial. So you do have to pay the jury fees with that. They had a case management statement that was filed on April 5th, just pretty much saying, okay, this is what's going on with the case, and pretty much everything that was dealing with service. Let's see, the minutes was entered on May 2nd. A request for dismissal for some reason was filed on the 22nd of uh, May. Another request for entry of default judgment. So with that entry, she also included video exhibits to support her request for a court judgment. So it's just not, how can I say this? It wasn't just the tweets that they entered. I am pretty certain that there was Facebook posts, not even the Facebook posts, I said Facebook, the Instagram, because remember Blue was going live and he was saying all of these things, right? Like I told you guys time and time and time again, that never goes away at all. That never goes away. I don't care if you delete it from your account. When we subpoena social media, everything is saved to a cloud or a drive. We can obtain it. So I am going to work on getting this declaration by her and her attorney. Now I don't think I will be able to get the link to the actual video, but I am pretty certain that they have actual recordings of Blueface slandering her. So like you can't, it's different when you can say, "Oh, my Twitter got hacked." Cuz anybody, we know that Twitter has been getting hacked pretty lately. So anybody could be like, he could be like, "Oh, somebody stole my phone and was tweeting all that." But when you actually have a video and you are slandering this girl, that's a wrap. And I'm pretty sure that was submitted in this declaration. So, with that entry of default judgment, she has to prove these things happen. So, not only did she submit Twitter and whatever social media accounts he posted on, but she also included video evidence to support her default judgment. I freaking love it. Statement of damages. So this is just pretty much saying these is what I'm requesting. This is how much money I'm requesting for, whatever she is suing him for. So those was entered. Now there was a, let me see, on the 3rd, well, okay, on the 30th they had a continuance hearing, so they pushed it back, and I believe that was on the 3rd if I'm not mistaken. Then on the 3rd they ended up pushing it back, so now it's going to happen September the 3rd. So now, coming up to August, uh, there's a request. So she actually redid the request. She amended it. So she re-entered the default entry for default judgment, and she amended her declaration as well as the attorney's declaration, and submitted the memorandum of costs for this whole suit. So that is where we're at right now. So she has entered in a default judgment. She's requesting a default judgment. She has provided evidence to support her default judgment, and showing the judge as to why she should be granted these damages. I'm like, and this boy does not need any more judgments against him. But when you fail to answer a lawsuit, I don't care, well, civil, when you fail to answer a civil lawsuit, you have a risk of getting a judgment against you, in which that can be perfected as well. I just literally, and I am so proud of myself, assisted in a default judgment. The dude didn't pay, so then I drafted up a writ of garnishment to freeze his bank accounts. And this week they said, okay, we are going to pay up. So that's all these people have to do. People think, oh, that's just a judgment. They don't, okay, yeah, it's just a judgment. But when people actually say, okay, you're not paying me this money, let me take it a step further. So I'm either going to garnish your wages, I am going to freeze your bank account until you owe me my money. And so I hope that this is what, and we see that happening with the gentlemen's club. They got a judgment in Nevada, and then they filed in California, so that way they can go ahead and do what they need to do to get that judgment again. So it's not over. They already did the abstract. So another step further is garnishment. Either his bank accounts, his property, whatever the case, however they can get that money, that is what they're going to do. So in this case, if Miss Jackie does get a default judgment granted, whatever that amount is, that's going to add on to the 5 million, what is it, 15 million, dollars that he already owes. And people are saying, oh, he could just file bankruptcy. Let me tell you guys something. Anybody can file a lawsuit. You have to prove whatever it is that you are claiming or alleging in that petition or complaint. So he can file for bankruptcy, but you have to prove that you don't have any money to cover all of these things that you owe to these creditors. So it's not that easy. All right. So going into that, so like I said, right now they have entered the default judgment. She has submitted her proof. They have a hearing scheduled for the ninth, not the ninth, September 3rd, which is next week, in regards to this entry of the default judgment. So we'll know whether or not the judge is going to grant this judgment. Now, the crazy thing is, I want to show you guys the proof of service. So let me switch screens. So this was the first proof of service that was filed with the court. This was form 04 sorry, yeah, 040. And it says the proof of service civil. So they filed the first one, it was rejected. They filed this one. Again, it keeps getting rejected because this is not the correct form that was supposed to be filed. But either way, service was still perfected, meaning that he was still served. So Blueface was served 2 days before he went to, well, turned himself in, and I'm doing air quotations, into jail. So on January 7th, he was served with this complaint along with a statement of damages, a copy of the summons, the notice of the case assignment, ADR package, the silver case cover sheet, the addendum and statement of the location, the complaint, the First Amendment general order, stipulations in the order are pursuant to the CCP. Now, the address where he was served, I did not pull this up, but I was like, you know what? Well, I said pull it up. I redacted the address, but it didn't make any sense to to redact it because this is where he was served. Hold on, let me go back to the screen. Let me go back. Y'all, I don't know what this club is, but I'm thinking what Fountain LA, y'all, at 12 a.m. in the morning. This is where your homie was served at. So they walk to the club and say, "You been." I don't even know how they did it. I don't even know how they did it. But this is where he was served at Fountain, LA. So when I first initially saw the address, I said, "That's not Blueface's address." And then I looked at the date that he was served, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So If anybody telling you guys that you can't be served anywhere, that is a bold-faced lie. You can be served anywhere. You can be served at the grocery store, at church, in the airports, at a graduation, wherever they can find you at, they will serve you there. All right, so this is the form that was initially submitted, and that's why the entry of default kept getting denied, because they were submitting the incorrect proof of service. So this was the correct form that they needed to serve, and that was it. That was it. So this is form, as you can see, it's 010, and it's different. It says proof of service of summons. And so it says everything that they were served, well, he was served, the date and the time. So he was served at 12:17 a.m. What a tragedy. What a tragedy. All right. So he was served with all of those things. So if he was served on the 7th, mind y'all, he went to jail on the 9th, or turned himself in on the 9th. Um Regardless, he still was served prior to him being incarcerated. He could have told anybody to file an answer on his behalf. He could have gotten a lawyer to file an answer on his behalf. Now, the criminal attorney that he had, if that criminal attorney does not do civil suits, such as these, he cannot represent him on his behalf. It's not a good look. If a criminal attorney is a criminal attorney, that's it. Now, you have general practice attorneys. The attorneys that I contract with do criminal law, personal injury, wrongful death, estate planning, so on and so forth. So they have this a variety. But Blueface should have said, "Hey, I was served these papers. Can you help me out or something?" You know what I'm saying? But it's no excuse. You were served the papers. You did not answer, so the plaintiff does have a right to request a default judgment. Let's see. All right, so that's the proof. So this is the correct form that was filed, and that's how she was able to do the entry of default judgment on August 19th. Um, Now, the memo of cost is just pretty much the cost, that, and I'm sure in the complaint, I probably read it, you are able to get back what you put in. So if you're paying, so pretty much she's paying the attorney, and the attorney is also putting out costs for filing, appearance, and all this other stuff. So this is something that they are requesting for him to pay in addition to whatever damages she is requesting. So the filing of the motions and the petitions and so on and so forth, that was $773. The service of process was $1,400. Yes, in California it is high, but I'm pretty sure this number is high because they had to really track him. If this man was not home, they had to go back and they had to figure out, probably do some skip tracing or hire a PI to see exactly where his whereabouts are, so on and so forth. So that's why that number there is high. So in total, court cost is $2,173.10, in which I am sure that they're going to seek to get reimbursed for. So that is all. Boy, this club is this that's funny. They served him in club. Just imagine you in the club and somebody walk up to you, say, "Hey, you want to dance or you want to drink?" And then they serve you some papers. Embarrassing. But anywho's, tell me what y'all think about this. Do y'all think Jackie's gonna get? I call her Jackie. Her name probably she don't need to go by Jackie. Jackilyn Martinez, Soulja Boy's mother of his child. But tell me what you guys think. Do you think that this is going to be in her favor? How much do you think that Blueface is going to end up paying? Let me know in the comments. Until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Be blessed. Bye.